Now, for any PBA fan who's been watching for the past 2 decades, it's hard to imagine that the San Miguel Beermen, without 9-time PBA champ Arwind Santos in their lineup. So today marks a historic moment for SMB fans as the San Miguel Beermen has reached an agreement with the Northport Pier in a blockbuster trade. Less than a month after finishing their 2021 Philippine Cup campaign in the semis, the San Miguel Beermen are sending Arwind Santos in exchange for the Northport Pier's recently acquired Vic Manuel. Now, to help us discuss one of the biggest PBA trades in recent history is my partner who's putting on his analyst hat for this hot topic tonight, PBA Rush analyst Jett Manuel. And Jett, we saw this trade coming, didn't we? Or did we?
Yeah, did we not? Did we not or did we?
I don't know.
That's what we talk about tonight.
All right, but Arwind Santos moving on for Vic Manuel, and everyone's talking about it. It felt like Arwind Santos was a piece that would never move. Before we talk about the implications of this from the team, let's talk about a bit about the legacy of Arwind Santos. Just what is his legacy with the Beermen franchise?
Well, if you talk about Arwind Santos, you talk about San Miguel Beermen, everything, the championships that they've won. Yeah, you have Junmar, you have all the other guys, Alex Cabagnot, Lassiter, but Arwind Santos has always been that key piece. He's always been a contributor. MVP, Finals MVP, Championship, All-Stars. He's done it all. Defensive Player of the Year. He's done it all for San Miguel. So, you talk about Arwind. The impact that he had with that franchise has just, it's like the end of talking about him leaving. It's like the end of a legacy. I mean, he's leaving a team that he took to places, and now, as old as he is or whatever the reasons are, he's moving on. It's just the end of a period for San Miguel.
Well, San Miguel now have to find a new sort of death lineup without an Arwind Santos there. He gave range, he gave, in his younger years, he gave athleticism on both ends of the floor. And when you think about the winning basketball that San Miguel had displayed in the past decade, Arwind Santos was always one of the names that we always had to mention. Now, looking at the trade, if you're a San Miguel fan and you're trying to rationalize everything that's happening, what did you think was the mind behind this trade, moving Arwind Santos for a guy like Vic Manuel?
We talked about this a little bit off air. And San Miguel has always been in those talks that they need to go younger. Well, technically they did. Arwind Santos is 40. Vic Manuel is younger, he's 34 years old. So they did go younger, but beyond that, I think they're trying to shake it up. They're trying to find something new. They're trying to find something different in their offense. They're trying to find another piece that, Arwind has been that type of guy that stretches the floor. He's not as athletic as he was, so his defensive ability is still there. It's decent, but not as good. But I think, the way he plays compared to a Vic Manuel, who you can give the ball in the post to constantly. You have Junmar on one side, you have Tautua, you have another guy off the bench that you can keep giving the ball off to the post, and you have young guys around him now, which they got before. You have Terence Romeo that shoots the three a lot. You have that can break down a defender. You have CJ Perez, who also can shoot the three, break down his defender one-on-one. So I think they're trying to find something more inside that's not just Junmar. I think that's what they're going for. Vic Manuel is a great piece. I mean, we looked at his stats before the game. You give the ball to him in the post, something good will happen. So I think that's what they're looking for right now, trying to shake up their offense.
We saw the numbers a while ago comparing both Arwind Santos and Vic Manuel, but then every time we talk about the numbers, it's always hard just to compare it and say that, okay, you're taking away 15 points or 13 points and then replacing it with this or that. But when I look at these two players, it feels like Vic Manuel may need the ball more than Arwind Santos. How do you think that affects San Miguel, having Vic Manuel, who is more effective if he has the ball and has time to work with it?
All right, well, something's got to give. Look, you have a team like San Miguel. You have Junmar, Cabagnot, Terence, CJ, Lassiter. I mean, he doesn't need the ball that much, but he has the ball in his hands too. Something's going to give.
Yeah.
It's either they try to find a way, try to build that chemistry to give him the ball too. He has his fair share of touches, or Vic has to learn to play and be effective, even more effective without the ball. So that's what I think that's going to happen. I think they're still going to bank on a guy like Terence, a guy like Cabagnot that has the ball in their hands, then keep giving, and Junmar, of course, and giving it to Vic Manuel consistently throughout the game.
Well, Vic Manuel kind of changed this game last season. Finally started taking three-pointers. Shot it at 33% last season, actually. And of course, Arwind Santos, he didn't have the ball as much. But then when you talk about usage, he doesn't necessarily need the ball as much as he used to. He's still effective, even the ball isn't with him the entire time. But now that he's part of a Northport team that's just so athletic, where do you see him slotting in?
I think he's going to stretch the floor. I mean, Vic was there. He's a post presence like we talked about. But I think Arwin's going to be there to stretch the floor out for a pick and roll with Greg. I think they're going to have that 1-2 action with Bolick and Greg a lot. And then Arwin's going to come from the inside, popping out to the top, shooting threes, a lot more threes, I feel. Mid-range jumpers too. And it's not going to stop. I mean, the ball's not going to stop with him. If he doesn't have a shot, he always kicks it out, sets a screen, pops again. I think there's going to be a more fluidity with Northport, talking about Northport with Arwind there, than with Vic.
Well, of course, Arwind last season, when we're talking about three-point shooting, 31%. In the conference. So when you look at the trade as it is, again, it was a 1-for-1 Vic Manuel for Arwind Santos, two really big names. Is there a clear-cut winner in your mind of the trade, at least on paper, before a single game has been played?
Okay, I'm going to have to answer that. I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me that. So that's why I'm here. I think I'm going to go with Northport. I think
Northport, okay.
Adding Arwind as a piece has less problems than adding Vic Manuel to San Miguel. We talked about what they need to work on and something's got to give for San Miguel with Vic there. But for Arwind, I think it's a more natural fit. I think he can just come in there and play his game. He doesn't need to adjust as much as Vic will. So I think early on, I mean, he's going to have less time to adjust for Northport than Vic Manuel in San Miguel. So I'm going to have to go with Northport.
All right, there you have it. That's our headline. Jett Manuel says that Arwind Santos moving to Northport was a better trade than the other way around.
Yes.